YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back on Total War Attila. We are actually kicking off a new campaign, even though I'm not on the campaign screen. The reason I'm not there yet is because I want to show you something before we get there, but I'm trying to get my volume adjusted and then tab over to a different tab real quick. And I probably actually ought to turn on Attila in my broadcaster, so how about that? Boy, that would have been a big mistake. Alright, yeah, so I got Attila turned on. Let's see. So I am going to bring you a campaign in the age of Charlemagne. Some of you will be like, Air, how come you're not having a vote? I wanted to have a vote, but then January creeped up on us really fast, and I want to get this started so we can get it done in January and move on to some more fun campaigns. So I wanted to give you something fun and unique, or at least it felt somewhat unique. It's probably impossible for me to show a campaign on YouTube that like literally no one else is doing. But I decided to do the Theme of Sicily, which is not a playable faction in vanilla, but they are available through several different mods. I will explain the one that I have. The one I'm using is by a character named Moon Hoplite, and I'm using 3 of his mods that kind of all support the main one, which is just the Age of Charlemagne Theme of Sicily unlocked. And then I'm using a Byzantine unit expansion mod where he adds like 7 units or something like that in to kind of just round out their roster. And then I'm also using a Byzantine fire ship mod, which makes like a fire ship available. There are other mods out there for the Byzantines. There's ones that give them like cool East Roman looking skins and all kinds of stuff. But I figured this way we could actually kind of play as the Romans per se. And that would kind of give us something unique to do in this campaign. So here's their roster. This is what we have. We have our guard unit, Dux's guard there. Very heavy melee cav. Looks like, yeah, it's an anti-cav type cav. Levy spears, scutatoi spears, imperial scutatoi Iovenes swords, scutatoi, and imperial scutatoi. And then down here on axe, we have axe Iovenes, scutatoi axemen, imperial scutatoi axes, and Varangian guards. That's exciting. And then we have archers and armored archers, and we have crossbows and shielded crossbowmen, so that ought to be fun. Skirmishers, and as far as melee cav, we have light cav and tagmata. And then in shot cav, we have cataphractoi, which is a very heavy shot cavalry, and tagmata are a heavy melee cav with good stats versus cavalry, it looks like. Not the most amazing attack stats or anything I've seen, but it looks like a well-armored and nice defense, decent charge bonus, so overall looks to be a decent cav. Skirmisher scout cavalry, and then we have these Greek fire bombers for under like NAF throwers, so this ought to be interesting. And then of course just onager pieces. So that's what we have. Let's go in and do, whoops, not a grand campaign, Age of Charlemagne. So yeah, we're going to play as the Theme of Sicily. Seems pretty exciting. So let's take a look at what we have access to. Royal Splendor, 50% to General's Radius of Influence for all characters, plus 3 sanitation to all regions. We get a research rate of plus 25%, but a major penalty towards all factions. That's going to be interesting. Oy, we'll see how that plays out. Let's go ahead and start the campaign. Get things rolling as the Theme of Sicily. This ought to be fun. I'm actually looking forward to this because I don't know, I like usually playing a game before I jump into a mod, but I just figured this would be fun. It's essentially the vanilla game. This Moon Hoplite, and I'll have links to everything too. This Moon Hoplite has basically set it up to where it's going to kind of blend in with vanilla and should be kind of fun, not necessarily feel like a mod.
Many kings before you. Many names. Many titles.
The music in this is pretty awesome.
Men who rose from nothing. Men who risked all that they love to lead by honor and virtue and inspire the common man. Do you think you're different? Somehow chosen. Who gave you the right to rule? It wasn't the people.
It was patchy.
It wasn't God.
Exactly, it was patchy. By you, he means Patchy. Okay, alright, enough with the bad jokes already. The campaign hasn't even gotten through the cutscene, and here I go. So, let's kick things off as the Theme of Sicily. It says, Emperor Constantine IV has decreed the reclamation of Italy. He has set out to the Theme of Sicily and personally to take over duties as strategos. I forgot that. Begin with the administration and development of the theme's scattered provinces. Look unto the Italian peninsula. Extend Byzantine influence throughout the Mediterranean and form a Byzantine empire. So this is war weariness information. Let's just read through it to make sure we understand it. I think I do, but sign of a great leader is knowing how far your people can be pushed. Wars are significant dramatic events that should not be undertaken lightly. Each of your turns, you're at war, your faction's war weariness will increase. When it reaches a high enough level, your faction will begin to receive penalties that will increase. Additionally, losing battles will have drastic effects on war weariness. You can, however, seek respite during peacetime. While at peace, your war weariness will reduce quickly. Furthermore, signing peace treaties will cause large one-off reductions. Should war be forced upon you, however, you may slow, halt, or even reverse war weariness levels by winning decisive battles, and, as a last resort, by withdrawing your men to within your own borders to help slow its increase. Wars must be concluded swiftly and decisively. Manage diplomacy carefully, blah, blah, blah. Alright, we're good. So, Ruins of Rome. It says, petty lords tear like dogs at the carcass of Europe. The Byzantines shall reclaim the lands and civilize these rabble. We want to reach Imperial level 3. We have some new bonus objectives, and we get a reward of 5,000 talents, or whatever it is. Let's go check out the tech tree here. Public order +2 from bureaucratic reforms. Man, I don't know if we can go wrong with that to start off with. Public order is usually helpful in the early game. Let's take a look at everything we start off with. In terms of provinces, we've got Sardinia at Corsica. And it looks like these will be relatively easy to defend. Calabria, which looks like it's in the Taranto region, except, yeah, we only own Croton and Region here, Region, whatever that one's called. Then we have Valencia, which is, actually, we just own the Balearics out here, Palma. So, interesting enough. We have some olive oil out there. Beginning income 1649 per turn. Let's see where our armies start off. If we just take a look at the map, so we're kind of spread out. We have the Balearics, Corsica, Sardinia, and we have Sicily, of course, and all this area down here. Sicily is a full province that we own, and this ought to be pretty nice. If we take a look at, let's take a look at fertility. So all the lands that we own except for the Balearics are pretty fertile here. So we ought to be getting some nice production. Corsica, Sardinia is very, very fertile. So we've got olive oil to start with, wine. Yeah, olive oil and wine is going to be plentiful, and it looks like maybe some copper if we're wanting to take advantage of resources. And then let's take a look at the scenario as far as faction ownership. What about diplomatic status? Neutral. Looks like a lot of people are just neutral towards us. And the Republic of Venice is our ally. So do we not start off with any wars? We do not. That's actually kind of nice. Let's see what we can get started. We know that we will probably want to expand into Italy. So we probably don't want to make friends with the Duchy of Benevento, but let's see who their allies are. They're trading with the Lombards, but they are not the allies really of anybody, which is good news for us because I'd like to take their lands. But let's start off maybe and see if we can get some trade going with some of these factions around us.
Welcome.
There we go. So we got some trade open with the Duchy of Provence. If I said that right, which I probably didn't. I just know that was a fun map on Empire Total War. No, we're not going to trade with the Duchy of Benevento because I don't want the hit. The Lombards, Papal States, we can't trade with. Republic of Venice is an ally, so we ought to be trading with them. And let's see. Taifa Barcelona and the Taifa Valencia. Neither one very much like us. But I mean, they would probably be good folks to try and improve relations with.
I suppose.
They're not interested though. Let's check the other one.
Be welcome, I suppose.
Nope. Okay, well, I'm not really worried about messing with them. I'm questioning whether or not to trade with the Lombards. I would eventually betray them.
I am here.
Let's see if the Emirate wants to trade with us. He does not. Do we have anything the Lombards
For my
want?
people's part, welcome.
No. Okay. Alright, so I think we're basically going to be getting what trade we can get. We don't have line of sight to the Duchy of Croatia, so we can't trade with them. That pushes our income up a little bit, which is certainly nice. Let's kind of check out some of our building trees and make sure we understand it, because I'm not super familiar with it. So as far as what we build in the town center, we can either build a small city, a court, or a church. So churches have food consumption of up to 80. So it looks like church and trade city have the same food consumption, and a city has slightly more. You get the, let's see, you get the biggest public order boost out of the church line. You get 10 Imperium. Oh wow, so yeah, it's public order plus 9, and then the church is also spreading it in adjacent provinces, which is pretty cool. And it's going to really help spread Christianity. But if we take a look at the others, the trade city gives us an extra wealth from commercial buildings, which is obviously nice. You get Imperium still, and you get extra growth. So all of them seem to provide the same garrisons, so no different there. And then under the palace, you get a pretty solid public order, lots of Imperium, and you get the growth. But you're going to lose the boost to the this commercial stuff. So that's understandable. Let's take a look at farming in terms of fields. You know, you have farm and manor farm. There's not going to be a whole lot different to expect there from other factions. In the smaller settlements, we either have manor or market village. Let's kind of take a look at the end game there. Great Market Town uses a slightly less food. You get 400 wealth and 3 growth. And then here we get 6 growth, 300 wealth, and 15% from agricultural buildings. So really the Grand Manor seems to be worth it in the long run because of the extra growth and other stuff, so that's good to know. I've already seen that. So under the civic buildings, church, school, what does this do? So you get increased Imperium and research rate for no penalty. Under the trader tree, we get increased growth and commerce for no penalty. Treasury, wealth from all buildings in adjacent provinces, so that's interesting. So this one could help us boost economies. Council Hall, public order, corruption -5. So this one fights corruption for us. Now, where was this in the main campaign for the Romans? Would have been nice. We'll have to check out and see if corruption is really affecting us much. So food market's going to add food for us, obviously. Growth and other stuff. Scriptorum, Imperium and wealth. Horse shows, public order and cavalry experience, and then Imperium on the highest one. A tavern looks like public order where we can recruit assassins and spies, so that could be handy. A wine market, which is just going to be growth and wealth from commerce. Check out industry. Sorry, I'm doing this. I just want to get a good familiarity with the buildings before we kick off the campaign, so I don't feel as blind going into it. So this just looks like boosting wealth from agricultural buildings and industrial buildings. But that could be pretty handy to help just boost up what you're making out of a good solid province. So you're going to get squalor from mines, but good stuff in terms of wealth. So let's look at military buildings. Barracks. That's where we're going to get Varangian guards, cataphracts, tagmata, basically all the good stuff that we want. It's going to come from the barracks. And it looks like the other piece maybe is an upgrade on the tech tree where you go to upgrade. And then if we want the Greek fire bombers or Cairo ballista and the other stuff, we have to build the siege engineers, which is interesting. A garrison looks like it goes in these smaller cities and just gives a public order boost at the cost of food. And then of course the blacksmith where you can upgrade weapons and armor. Religion, a monastery. That's where we get our priest. Looks like a nice building to have in provinces. Let's check out this hospital. Hospice. Plus sanitation to all regions in the province. Now that's nice. That's real nice. So this is a good building, and it goes to adjacent ones too. So that's a sweet building there. Port, we only have one option, but it goes several different ways. So you can do fishing, shipwright, which is going to give us artillery, boatmen, Greek fire ship with Skoutatoi marines, and then a trade port, which is going to give us wealth with a little bit of squalor. Interesting. Resource buildings, these are just all the different resource buildings we can get. So let's take a look at olives. Well, no, we don't need, we'll see this in the game. So, all right, we got a good look there. Let's take a look at the tech tree and kind of make sure that we're doing what we want to get unlocked. So let's just kind of follow the military tech tree. You get replenishment, fatigue rate reductions, rating income increases, campaign movement range, which could be handy, Imperium, recruitment capacity, medium siege engines, siege workshop. Okay, crossbow upgrades and archer upgrades right here at Masters of Terrain, so that could be good. And then right here you get a troop organization, so this is going to get us scutatoi spears instead of levy spears. And then right here, scutatoi pues aifines and scutatoi axemen. So it looks like we get some important upgrades on the tech tree for certain units. Imperial scutatoi. So you have to go all the way to the end to get those awesome units. That's expected. Where's our farm upgrades through here? Palace, monastery, tribunal, manor farm. So you have to get all the way here to get a manor farm, which is good to know. Tribunals, church hospital, great market town. So yeah, it looks like both of them are pretty important. The nice thing is that we get a 125% research rate to start with. Let's stick where we're at, but let's just take a look at public order real quick. If we go on the map, it should be roughly the same in all provinces, I think. Region wealth, public order. It's a little bit low over here, but otherwise okay. So it's on the way up in Sicilia and Calabria, and then going down in Valencia, which would be expected at this point. I don't think switching to the market village in the end. Let's remind ourselves what these do. Growth +3, growth +6. Slightly, yeah, we need to stick down the manor side of things in the small towns. It just seems like the way to go. Manorial court. Does that really take that much money? Wow, yeah, we're not building that. 4,000 for the olives. Wow, all these buildings are expensive. I don't guess we're doing anything out there. Wonder what we can do to secure the public order out here then. Not a lot, probably, other than having military troops. So I'm not. If we lose that province, it's probably one of my least productive. So try not to be super worried about it. Get squalor there. Let's remind ourselves here too. So this is going to be one of those productive provinces. So part of me thinks that growth settlement has basic walls. Actually thinking that the cathedral line would be best here. Yeah, let's switch over to the church. Well, yeah, it's gonna take a ton of our money to do all this stuff. We start off with positive 130 food, which is very nice. In terms of armies, we have a little bit going on here. We probably ought to go ahead and get a good strong army together. Yeah, we got scutatoi spears, levy spears, archers, tagmata cavalry. So we get some good starting units in this army. We probably want to go ahead and upgrade the barracks here too, so that we can pull in some better units. And it wouldn't hurt to take advantage of this awesome farmland down here as well. Getting plenty of olives in. Let's go ahead and end the turn. We can assign a provincial governor. Our king is a statesman right now. And it looks like this dude is one of my generals, as is my faction heir. Let's make the king the governor in Sicily. And that'll give us quite a bit of influence just off of him. We'll do that. Issue an edict. Let's see what kind of edicts we have. Food and growth, construction and tax rate. Let's go with the food and the growth. Let's see if we go back into here. These guys have enough influence to find a bride. Seek wife. Seek wife. Okay. And can we assign another governor? Let's check that situation out. Yes, we can. Let's do one at Sardinia, Corsica, because it's another important province for us. Okay, so we have assigned governors. Boom. Alright, now let's end the turn. So we'll use our faction heir as one of our main generals. Got a mission issued, a kingdom rises, +5 morale for all forces, +1 loyalty, public order +8, that would be awesome. Become the Byzantine Empire, extend your influence to reclaim, so we have to own the following provinces. Okay, so a lot. Alright, worthy bride, take her hand, good, we got everybody all married off. So we have to own all of these provinces, which is quite a few. So if we go up here, we have to own, like, yeah, a bunch of this stuff. Lombardy, Friuli, Rome. Yeah, we've got to own a ton of this stuff. But that's fine. You know, it'll be a fun challenge. We'll definitely take that challenge. We can already recruit light cavalry, scout cavalry. We can get more of these swordsmen, which probably would not hurt. Those are pretty decent axemen. All things told, yeah, I'm gonna get some of these axes. I've got enough spears, so that puts us up to 16 units. Crossbowmen would be nice. Missile damage is 65. It does not give us their range here, which is annoying. Let's see if it pops anything up here in the encyclopedia. I need to get that little mod that puts the range up in there so I can see it easy. These guys may not be in the encyclopedia. 49 missile damage on these archers is pretty good, actually. The Levy archers. It's only slightly more upkeep for a crossbow. Let's just get a couple. We could use a little bit more cavalry as well. Might just stick with some light cavalry here. Let's ditch the scout cavalry. I'm not particularly interested in it. Well, after a few turns, I might be able to train Tagmata actually. So let's wait, and we'll just get more Tagmata cavalry because it'll be, I think, some of the most handy. Let's just end a few turns, get some money together, build a few buildings, get our army ready. We'll turtle a little bit since no one's at war with us. Let's see. Is there any chance of me saving the public order out here in this province? That is questionable at best. If I tear this down, which will take some food away from me, but I'm not hurting for food, so let's tear it down and see if we can build something. And then, I hate to raise forces out here, but I think I'm going to, and I'll just put some crappy general out there that I don't care about. Let's see who's in here. Benedict, Maurice, yeah, any of these guys can go out here. So let's raise a force over here. Replenishment, merchant. Let's do that one because he's just going to be sitting around, raise an army. And this ought to help Palma some. Why did you go out to ships? I did not want that. There we go. It looks like it's going to help a little, so maybe with the building, finish the research, maybe we can slow down the public order slide out there. Looks like we've saved the public order slightly here at Corsica. Let's just go ahead and crank out farms. It's a good base for agriculture and wealth. So, not gonna have any harm come to us because of that. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Buildings cost quite a bit. It's a little bit different than the original campaign, I guess, from the vanilla Attila Total War. I like the building trees in this one. It's not perfect. There's a few things I dislike about it, but I do like it. I think in general I probably like it better than what we have in the main campaign. Some buildings are going to be restricted. Probably you can only have them if you have a city, would be my guess. Like council halls. I wonder, because otherwise I'm very tempted to just build a lot of churches. Let's see what happens there. We switch that one over to a church for the public order benefit. We do not own the provincial capital here. It's Taranto. Taranto. We need to take it. Made it sound like the Canadian city Toronto, which was not my purpose, but accidental. Let's go ahead and end this turn. We just about got an army together, and I'd like to go put it to work. Take out the Duchy of Benevento.
We hunger for battle.
Okay, we can do some more research. Market hall, archives, ship mill. Replenishment rate +3 would not be bad at all. Let's do that before we get in the war, just so we can get some increased replenishment rates. And let's see, how much does this... I mean, that... Ooh, those help public order, too. That's not bad. But we need to build something out here, where I torn down the olive tree previously. What gives me the best public order? The chapel, probably. Public order +3. We can put it up to +6. And it's going to spread our religion. I think this is going to be our best bet towards sanity out in this province. I think. Just make double sure. Yeah, it will be. So we're going to build the church, or the chapel. And maybe we can put a priest out there too to help stabilize that. I may be spending too much effort on a province that isn't super important, but I don't know, there's just something about it. I don't like to lose my stuff there. Now, what is our building that counters squalor? I'm trying to remember which one countered squalor. It's not a mint, it's a hospice. And we can't build it because we have to have an abbey or a cathedral first. So let's go ahead and build the abbey so that we can build the hospice and then upgrade the copper veins here. Okay, let's end another turn. Got an unassigned skill to our governor, which is our faction leader, so we can give him increased authority. This one helps with tax rates and governed provinces, so let's start there. Same thing with this governor. Didn't see any retinue characters that we could put in there. Okay, we gotta finish the abbey before we can put that building in there. Let's see. We really have a ton of food, so from a wealth standpoint, let's just drop some buildings in to help boost some wealth. Trading post eventually gets us 300, which is not bad. Let's see what else we can put through here. Hostel's not gonna do what we want. Surface mine adds squalor, so we're probably not looking for that just yet. The wealth from it's not really spectacular. The water mill would eventually allow us to... So water power's up there. It would just boost up the wealth from all of our buildings. That would actually be a nice building to have here, really. Let's go ahead and build the water mill, and then we'll upgrade it all the way and see if we feel like it gives us a nice boost to wealth in these regions. Palma, we don't know if it's going to survive an actual resistance here. We'll see. Almost have that chapel done, which ought to slow down the negative public order. Yeah, so we'll just take a bit of a slow start. Nothing wrong with that. Get ourselves ready to take on our enemies. Money is the sinews of war, as they would say. Okay, so Palma is still pretty angry. And it is going to rebel at this point. Let's get a priest. Minus 20% penalty due to the presence of other religions. That is probably the way that I need to go. Let's get this guy here. We cannot deploy him just yet. Let's build a bigger chapel there. We might be able to keep the rebellion from happening here. We will try very hard. Just because I want to. Okay, a couple turns left before we can build what we want there. Let's end the turn. We need to get up and start taking some Duchy of Benevento lands because that'll help increase our wealth faster. I just want to make sure that we are... Defamation. What a bunch of horse crap. Alright.
We hunger for battle.
God's chosen. Let's see if we can recruit Tegmata cavalry now. Let's get 2 of them
Sign up, lads, for a good
to round out this army, and let's get 1 more crossbow also to round out the army. That'll definitely eat up a little bit more of our income, but it'll be worth it to have good troops. The only campaign I've really played in this expansion so far is the Avars, the one that I was kind of just messing around with whenever the thing released, and the one that I did the preview for. I liked it. Their playstyle, though, is going to be much different than what I'm going to be working with here with the Theme of Sicily, so I'm kind of excited about it, to be honest. Let's see, can we build... Yes, we can build the hospice here, which means we can work on upgrading that mine and get more wealth from that. And we might want to put a watermill in Sardinia and Corsica as well, because those boosts may be nice later on in the game. We'll see. I mean, we're still making money with a pretty solid army here. Let's just start moving this army up. We're going to lose some public order here, but it should be fine in the long run because these are going to be some pretty stable provinces. End a turn because we need more money. We need to continue researching technologies. Let's go ahead and research water power. End the turn. We'll just make some money while our armies are moving into position. A navy would certainly be handy as well, but it's going to be costly, so we need to actually get our economy chugging along here first. Rebellion imminent in Valencia. Defamation. Dadgummit. Getting freaking annoyed at that crap. I forgot to deploy my priest over here, which actually may have stopped. Oh, there we go. Actually, that helps.
Willing and able.
And 1 turn and we complete that. And so we may actually be able to stave it off. We'll see. It's going to be very, very close. Very close.
Ready for battle.
Let's see. So this general has gained some rank here. Let's give him the authority to start with.
Ready for orders.
Keep on moving up to the edge of our lands. I want to go over here and hit Taranto. Taranto. This general has also leveled up, so let's just take care of the upgrade on the generals. I guess I'll start off with authority. Let's go ahead and end the turn again. Save up a little money, and then we'll put some new buildings in. Okay. We have a little money. These vineyards churn out public order and commerce, which is pretty nice. Let's see.
At your service.
We have this province stabilized at that point, so that is fantastic. So we can actually keep it and get what little tax money we can from it. So that would give us 150 increase. We get +4 sanitation. So current squalors 2, so we have total sanitation of 5, so we'd be safe to drop a bigger copper mine here. And eventually we can get up to 600 wealth from copper mine, which that's not bad. We need to put a water mill in this province too once the growth allows it. Okay.
Commander.
Yep, one building at a time. We'll just keep building it up. Let's end the turn. It's nice to start with a pretty stable food situation, to be honest. We get some good, fertile provinces here because, man, the Avar lands were a lot tougher to eke a living out of to start with. But, should be interesting to see here.
At your command.
Let's go ahead and move up to... Let's go ahead and move up. We'll just trespass.
On the move.
I'm coming for you. This will be interesting to see how well this works out, just pushing forward this blatantly. I'll bring this other army up to help garrison the settlements that we take so that hopefully we can quickly move on. Let's see if we can recruit agents. Apparently we can only have one of these agents and I have him out there on Palma, so yeah, that may not have been the smartest deal, but whatever. Our income has popped up a little bit, and as a few more buildings that we're building complete, it ought to continue to go up. It's kind of slow but steady from what I've noticed on the economy on this expansion, so it starts off a little bit slow, but you can kind of steadily build it up to something pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and hit Taranto, yeah, whatever. Let's declare war. Ooh, they're allied now with the Kingdom of the Lombards. That's great. Fantastic. It's actually not fantastic. So I would have preferred that they'd not been allied with the Lombards because the Lombards are going to be somewhat powerful. And sure enough, the Lombards join them. So this is going to be an interesting start, to say the least. Let's get some siege towers built. And we'll hold our siege here and see if they counterattack me. And we'll hope that my troops are good enough to get the job done here.
Ready for orders.
If they have navies, this could get interesting too. So now more than ever, we need to really start building up the economy. That takes us from 240 to 360, so that's an increase of 120. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and do that. Anything else that we can build here? Let's do the same thing here. Ooh, that's a nice increase right there. 270 all the way up to 405. So that'll get us a little more economy. Got unassigned skills here, so let's boost up the tax rate on our governors. Cunning +2. Wealth from commercial buildings, we'll take that on top of it.
At your command.
This is just our general. I don't know if we have any commercial buildings there, so we'll just go with cunning and... Well, that's for a governed province, so that was probably a waste. Okay. Let's see what happens when we end the turn. Let's see... Go away, Lombards. I'm going to see if I can make peace with the Lombards. I don't know what kind of ally they are with the Duchy of Benevento, but I'm guessing that we won't succeed. Bountiful harvest. Sweet. +2 fertility in this province. Nice. And we should have our siege towers, so we can go for our first siege. There's some Gestald swordsmen and some Levy axemen, but other than that, I think we have got all that we need to, actually we can, well, we'll fight it just because I haven't had any other battles in this episode. I don't expect this to be a huge challenge, but we'll see. We need to get this province secure and move on quickly to keep the pressure in their lands rather than giving them time to build up armies and come to my lands. Because if I remember right from my Avar trial, the allies will support each other fairly well, and they will do a pretty good job of hurting me. All their towers are still intact, which is a bit crappy. Over here, though, there's less of them, so I think this is going to be our attack point. And let's see, who is pushing our towers? I don't think the axemen are the right choice for that. Well, actually, they may be a decent choice for that. Poor armor, actually, so no, they're probably not a good choice for that. These guys have a good missile block chance, decent melee and armor and all that stuff, so I think these are going to be our go-to. And we got our spears. Cavalry. Let's see if there's anything. Looks like the archer's range is a little bit better than the crossbow range. So the crossbows are going to be shorter range but higher damage. Let's keep these guys handy, but I don't want them to get shot up by the towers necessarily either. We could maybe get on loose formation, see what kind of damage we could do to the towers. Actually, we might be able to burn the tower down. Okay, let's start the battle. Let's bring in our... There. Bring in our towers. Let's switch everything to a flaming shot. Move up all of our archers and see if we can destroy this watchtower.
We will crush the enemy with our great
Actually, I don't think we can take the watchtower down with just flaming arrows. That's irritating. Well, let's see if we can kill some of these Gestalt swordsmen, so we'll switch to heavy shot. I'm not going to let all my archers get shot to death, but I'd like to do some damage on the enemies that my melee infantry is going to have to face. Oh, crap! They got behind me with this stupid light boatman. Good thing I noticed that sooner rather than later. Heavy bow ship. Our arrows are actually doing some pretty considerable damage to the Gestalt swordsmen, so I'm going to let them continue to fire. They're down to 98, and we're not taking very heavy losses from the tower, so this is worth our while. Is this guy firing? Fire damage. No, they're not firing. Well, we were doing really good damage to the Gestalt swordsman. Now, not so much. Looks like we're kind of slowly but surely pulling some of them down. Just let my guys keep firing. Oh, the crossbows just take longer to fire, but apparently it is them who does the savaging. So if we wreck that Gestalt swordsman, that's going to make my day a lot easier. Because that's really their only decent melee infantry up here. 3440, 3640, let's see, 3749. Wow, my guys have way more melee defense, the Scutatoi do. But we don't want to lose the Scutatoi either, so definitely want my bows to do some damage here. So okay, their ship came aground, so Tagmata Cavalry attack. We're gonna go ahead and keep firing at my infantry. Okay, everything's going pretty darn well. Let's attack their axemen, because their Gestalt swordsmen are already wrecked. They do have some levy skirmishers here, which could potentially do some pretty severe damage to me. Oh, these light boatmen are going to get so wrecked. Yeah, we're not taking casualties very quickly with our missile troops, so that's good news. Okay, their guys just went out of sight. Just give everything we got to those skirmishers. Hopefully the skirmishers come into melee. It doesn't look like they're going to, and they are getting kills. They are getting nice kills. So I've got everything bow-wise targeted onto those levy skirmishers. The light boatmen got wrecked by 4 units of Tagmata Cavalry, as expected. Oh, our Scutatoi are taking quite a bit of damage. Yeah, all the skirmishers are really wrecking my Scutatoi. hope I don't lose these guys in the first battle, but it looks like I might. Yep, lost our Scutatoi. That's not good. Fortunately, the skirmishers are out of ammo. But there's bowmen back here too, and all these bow units are taking a toll on me here. I don't know if my Scutatoi can beat those levy axemen. I'll try. I'm gonna get all my guys up the siege towers. I did not have my support ready enough to come out of here. Okay, bring these guys over here. We've got to take out those bows back there, because they're getting way too many hits on me here. I'm gonna go into shield wall here. See if we can hold out. Oh, we got flanked. I think we still get the bonuses though, even when we get outflanked.
Our men are rallying. They're not done yet.
Let's go ahead and bring these guys over here and start trying to unload on the levy archers. Okay, these guys rallied back to the fight, the Scutatoi. Let's try and get them to safety. These Scutatoi are suffering badly right now. The shield wall reformation glitch has gotten them. We took down their tower though, so this is good news. Okay, I'm in shield wall, but that is a lot of axes coming at me. Let's send support.
Enemy troops have reached the walls.
Okay, now we've got another tower firing at us. I'm gonna try and catch their swords from behind. Let's see if we can get both these Scutatoi out of the city to safety. Okay, do not fire at will, archers. Their archers pulled back. Okay, all of their units over here are getting wrecked, so we should be safe. And my two damaged Scutatoi units should make it out of the city. Good, so they will be safe moving forward. And let's get rid of these levy axemen as well. Let's get our cavalry in here. My guy's having some problems attacking these axemen. They're like spread out all over, like in the two groups. It's causing me to take some strange losses. Let's check out my units up close. They have the cool Kamita Tensei's looking shields and outfits there. Very nice looking. Let's come over here to where the enemy towers can't reach us. All that's left are some enemy bows and then their spear general. I don't see any towers that are going to have great access to me over here.
The enemy have rallied their units.
Thought the game was going to freeze there for a minute. Okay, I've got my different Tagmata cavalry units ready to go. Where are we taking fire from? Is it their archers? Let's tighten up all of our archers and bring them into the city as well. Is that tower firing all the way over? It is. Good grief, that thing's got some range. So we need to capture that tower. Let's just go ahead and send this axe unit over here and take that thing down because it's putting shots on our men. See if we can ride these archers down. Let's send one axeman up to the town square to start trying to fight the levy spears. We've caught the enemy archers over here, which is good, but there's a tower going to be firing. I think we'll get some cover from the building. Those towers are annoying, but it doesn't appear like they have insane damage like they may have had in the past. So that's good news for us. Let's bring these cavalry units up here and attack the enemy general with their axes, and we're capturing this tower here. Not severe losses, but let's see. enemy archers are not dying quickly for levy archers against Taglata cavalry. Let's take a look closer at this fight here at the Taglata cav. That is some cool looking cav. Check out the nice little Roman shield on it.
The victory point will soon be ours.
Yep.
Ready for orders.
My cavalry came through the wrong entrance, but it's in a good position to rear charge here. These levy archers are about to die. Man, there are towers hitting us from every direction. Let's watch the rear charge on these levy spears who are fighting our axemen frontally, and a few of our cavalry too. But imagine that's going to be the end of that levy spearman. Our axes probably doing quite well there also. Yep. So let's go ahead and end the battle before we take more losses. Took more losses there than I would have wanted to, but since we had to fight it manually, we were bound to take more losses than otherwise. That skirmishing line ought to be fairly dangerous in an open field battle. So we've got Taranto. Gonna occupy it.
We hunger for battle.
Gained a little bit of Imperium, which hopefully means maybe we can recruit another priest. Let's convert. Well, we got to repair to start things off here. I don't know that we. Well, I'll keep the fishing wharf. Why not? And the barracks could come in handy. And you know, would it hurt to have a blacksmith? Probably not. At least long enough to get my troops upgraded. I don't think that's going to hurt anything. Anyway, that's all the time I have for this episode. Hope y'all are enjoying the Theme of Sicily campaign so far. I got a feeling things are going to get a lot harder once the Lombards get down here, but we'll do our best to get everything shored up. See y'all back in the next episode.